I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Movement Fix. This is Movement Fix Monday. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. What I want to talk to you about in this video is whether or not you should be sitting on a lacrosse ball to roll out your piriformis or your glutes. I've seen several times where people will spend 30 minutes, an hour, maybe even just 10 minutes might be too much, of sitting on a lacrosse ball in their glute. And I think it sometimes can lead to more issues than it helps. And there's some anatomical reasons why we need to discuss this and why we should think about this. So I have a spine model and I have what is going to be our sciatic nerve, which is just too cliche to even appreciate that this is an extension cord. But if we took someone's spine, they're standing this way, and we looked at them from the back, essentially what you have is the nerves come out of the spine and they collect within the pelvis, and then they exit through here, and then they go down into the leg like this. So a lot of people have this quote-unquote trigger point right in the butt, but I think a lot of times what they do is they're actually pushing on the sciatic nerve against the bone, where it sort of crosses here. Because if you can imagine that, here's my lacrosse ball. If you could imagine someone sitting like this, and I'm going to try to get this as anatomically correct as I can. And of course there's glute muscles and other things over the top. But say they're sitting and working their glute muscles, but they're really sort of pushing the ball through the muscles and compressing the nerve against the bones of the pelvis. That can be an issue. And sometimes the problem is that it's hard to identify just because something hurts or feels sensitive to press on it that you should be pressing on it. So number one, if you're having pain in your back or into your hip, I think you should go get it evaluated. Number two, if you're going to roll out the muscles of the glutes, I think you have to be careful to maybe not use something so focal as a ball. I would use something more like a foam roller if I was going to roll in that area, because you're not going to get the direct pressure where you could potentially be pushing the sciatic nerve up against the bone. Now what's interesting is this cord actually isn't a bad sized representation of the sciatic nerve. It's actually quite large, so you can mechanically press it into the bones. Now the question you're probably asking is, what the heck do I do instead if I'm having irritation in that area? And first of all, if it needs to be diagnosed, it needs to be diagnosed. But secondly, I've done a couple of videos on nerve tensioners as well as a hip stability video looking at a hip airplane. So I'm going to link those below the description of this video, so take a look at those. But if you're sitting on a lacrosse ball for many minutes on this tender spot that your muscles contract you away from, I think we need to ask the question, are we pushing against the sciatic nerve or are we relaxing muscles? So it's food for thought. And next time you have pain in that area and you're going to roll it, at least consider it and don't make yourself worse, because I've seen several times where people make themselves worse by doing this too aggressively. So that's what I got for you guys for this week. Movement Fix Monday, food for thought. Check out the other videos to see alternative ways of dealing with tightness in this area. So if you don't already follow the Movement Fix on Facebook, make sure to go to facebook.com/The Movement Fix. You could also follow me on Instagram @The Movement Fix. I'll see you guys next week.